Hello, hello. How you guys doing? It's been so long. I don't even know what to do here. I don't know how it works anymore. Hope you guys are doing great. I missed coming here. I miss talking to you all. It's been such a long time, guys, that I wanted to come here tonight. As a surprise, I know I should have posted something to let you know. I just made a story on my Instagram in order to say that I was going to be here. I hope you guys can make it so that we can talk about a few things. It's been more than 2 weeks, probably more. I missed you all. I missed talking to you about this channel, about the country of Brazil. Last time I came here, the world was already a dangerous place, but it's getting more and more, unfortunately. I've been following the news about the Middle East with such apprehension, such a concern, that things can really go south. And I've been praying so that God have mercy on us because the last thing we need is a war, right, guys? Definitely. We just came out of a pandemic and now we have to deal with a war or two happening simultaneously. That sucks. But I'm not here to talk about these things. I'm here to talk about this channel, to talk about this country, and to talk about my trip to Fortaleza. For the first time, the channel Brazil and Subtitle was able to go to Fortaleza, Ceará. And I want to share with you my experience. I want to answer your questions about the place. So I really hope some of you can show up and we can talk about this. It was amazing. I was surprised with what I saw. I had some expectations, of course, but I'm gonna say I was more impressed than I thought at the end because it's such a beautiful place, guys. Uh, if you consider the geographical position of the state of Ceará and the city of Fortaleza, they have a privilege to be right there on top of Brazil. If you look at the map and you consider the map, like the country standing, right? So they're on top of Brazil. It's beautiful water, very warm water, nice people. So I was impressed. I was impressed. I hope I can do this more often. I can travel more often because I'm gonna say, guys, Brazil is such a beautiful country. I was born and raised in this place, but I always knew that I still have so much to learn about this place. And because we have the size of a continent, so um, the interesting thing is to be able to see so many different cultures, so many different landscaping. Even the beaches are not the same, right? They are pretty different in the way uh, they are. So if you also consider the cities, Fortaleza has a lot of interesting um, towers there. I saw a lot of skyscrapers in Fortaleza. So it was amazing. I want to share with you this. Also, there's news about the investments that I normally bring to the channel to discuss with you. Uh, Heaven, the project from Lavi, has been released, right? I have the book right here uh, that I got in one of my visits. I want to talk to you guys about this. Whenever you visited, you received this from Sally. You check it out. I was impressed, guys. Sally told me this morning that the place, that the stand, the showrooms and everything received like 480 people a day average, which was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was more successful than the companies were expecting. When I say companies, it was Cirela and Lavi, two of the biggest companies, all from the same group. Okay, Lavi belongs to Cirela, and they had like 50% to share the units. So they were impressed. Like more than 450 people came to the stand to check the prices, to discuss payment forms. There's a big list, a waiting list to acquire the properties there. So it was amazing, incredible. Um, I don't know how many people are watching me right now. If you guys are there, please let me know if you can hear my voice, if the microphone is working. I think it's always a good idea for me to do that so that I don't talk to myself, right? I made a lot of content in Fortaleza, guys. I made a lot of content. There are so many videos that I wanna post on the channel very soon. It's just that I've recorded so much in 3 days that it's gonna be a lot of content for the channel. That's for sure. So just gonna wait a little bit more to see if anybody can confirm if I can be heard well, if the mic is working. But the interesting thing, guys, about Fortaleza, at least the beach part that I visited, I was in a neighborhood called Meireles. That was like I was like a block away from the beach. So fantastic. That area has so many interesting restaurants and so much police. I was impressed with how secure at least that area is. I could walk around with my cell phone because this is a main concern, I think, for a lot of tourists when they come to Brazil. Is it a safe place? Can I walk around? Can I film? Can I be myself? Yes. At least the places that we visited in Fortaleza, in Meireles, that area, and we went to the two directions, right? It was very nice. I was always with my cell phone out, taking pictures, not worried about anything. So many people jogging, people riding their bicycles. Even at night, it was so good to see that the city prepared that area of the sidewalk, right? As we say normally in Portuguese, we say calçadão, for people to practice sports. So they have bicycle lanes all along the beach. The most beautiful thing I have to say, guys, was they had, I counted 4 or 5 piers that you could go and, my God, sit down, look at the city. Some of the piers were so much further into the water that the signal of my cell phone disconnected. So far I was from the shore. It was so interesting to see. And the beauty, the scenarios. I wanted to come here, of course, and have a live streaming with you guys. After you guys have watched, or after you guys had watched the videos that I'm preparing. But it's been a while. I think it's a good idea to come here and talk to you a little bit because I don't want to be so far away from the channel. That's a problem. People they kind of forget of the channel. That's not what I want. I want to be here all the time presenting something about Brazil. So I'm working on a video to be released this week. I want it to be tomorrow, but that's going to depend on how fast my computer is going to be. But I'm coming here tonight to say I haven't forgotten about the channel. I'm working on the videos of Fortaleza. So you're gonna receive a series of videos. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will probably be just Fortaleza for the next 2 weeks. Because I want you guys to have an idea of the place like I did. So I made walking vlogs. I made other formats of videos. I visited restaurants. And I want to thank Joseph for the partnership with the channel. He's a member of the channel, also an investor in Brazil, and he invited the channel to go there because he needed my job. He needed my help with the investment segment. So I was there to search apartments, to study the market with him, because he has plans to not only buy a property there, but also to live there eventually. He wanted a warm place here in Brazil. So he has already invested in São Paulo with me and Célio. He has bought a unit here in São Paulo. But he said the second place I wanted to be in the Northeast because I have heard great things about the region. There was that video that I made about Neymar investing in the Northeast. I don't know if you guys have seen. So he said, okay, let's go take a look. I have always heard good things about Fortaleza. So it's probably one of the most important capitals in the Northeast. So we were there to film and to study the place. Uh, the great thing, guys, is definitely the price. It's much cheaper for you to buy a property in Fortaleza than it is, for example, in São Paulo or Rio, for that matter. I think he saw a place there in one of his investigations because I was checking some other areas and he checked some specific ones. But I think he saw a property there, 2 bedrooms, an apartment in Fortaleza for 155,000 reais. 155,000 reais, guys, just for you to understand. I even mentioned this because I made a live there in one of the days that I was there. I think the first night that I was there, I made a live and I mentioned this, or the second, I don't remember. So if you take a look, New Wave Brazil, thanks for opening up some possibilities by showing an option in the Northeast. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. I'm gonna do this more often. May God allow, and of course, I depend on you guys to become members of the channel, to support us somehow, because I have my own job, but with the money that I make, it's just enough so far to pay my bills and live a good life in São Paulo, but not enough to be traveling all the time. So I want the channel to be self-sustainable, if you know what I mean, to be to provide this gifts itself. So I count, of course, on a lot of people to help me on this, right? But you guys will see. I promise you. As soon as I start, why am I? As soon as I start releasing the videos, I'm kind of perfectionist, so I'm taking my time to edit correctly, to show you the best takes. Because guys, I have videos of sunset. I have videos of restaurants that are mind blowing. Mind blowing. I've been to a few places in this country, but I'm gonna say it was an amazing sunset, what I saw. The sky was it was like a painting, seriously, a mix of colors, and that image of the beach, and the curve that he makes. Oh my goodness. I can't wait for you guys to see what I saw, and the lenses of the channel will provide this, right? I had wonderful conversations with Joseph. Joseph is a very funny friend. We had a laugh, we had a blast. So most of those conversations and the jokes, they came out, of course, on the videos because I was recording everything. So it was a very natural walking vlog that I produced in one of the nights. In the days we walked a lot. You guys have no idea. We explored the city on foot because he wanted to see what it was like to be a local, to be a resident. And I respect Joseph a lot for this, you know. You know, investors have a very interesting way to see things. It's not only okay, let me go and buy something. He wants to understand the city, the dynamics. So we were staying very close to the beach, as I said, like a block away. There was a health club close to where we were. He had the tennis courts. So in the morning, I went to the balcony. We were on the 15th floor. I could see the health club. So people swimming, practicing tennis every day, guys. I'm from São Paulo. São Paulo has the same vibe of New York. Okay, do you want to have a good life in São Paulo? You can definitely have uh, a good life in São Paulo, but it's different, right? You gotta go to a park and run in a park or run by the river. There you have the beach. I think the nature inspires you to practice sports. And this is the same thing I told Joseph that I feel when I go to Rio. Rio, I think it's even more because Rio is the second biggest capital in Brazil, right? So it has more people. The vibe is much more hectic, I think. I think I prefer the atmosphere in Rio, and I can't compare Rio to any city not even to São Paulo because the vibe is different. It's because you're enjoying a very nice restaurant, and then you look across the avenue, and what you see, the ocean. You know, you guys will definitely see me one day living at the beach. This is something that I have been planning down the line, of course. But imagine how Brazilian subtitle would be more interesting if you guys could access the videos and see me practicing kayaking, surfing, swimming in the ocean, jogging by the sea every day. It would be amazing, I believe. But yeah, Fortaleza was unbelievable. I told Joe if I were him, I would wait a little bit because Brazil is very tricky, I believe. When you travel to a place the first time, of course, you get passionate by what you see, the nature, the vibe, people jogging, as I explained. But you need to see everything. You need to see the bad parts. You need to be aware of everything, traffic. You need to be aware of noise. Um, you need to be aware of the convenience of the place. I'm from Brazil, man. I'm from Brazil. Dois, how are you, man? So you need to be aware of everything before you take a decision. And Fortaleza is just one capital among so many others. We have Natal, which is located in Rio Grande do Norte. We have Recife, Pernambuco. We have Alagoas. Maceió is the capital. We have so many other Paraíba, João Pessoa, which is the capital of Paraíba. We have so many other states, so many other areas. The color of the water changes depending on where you are. Resorts are different. So I say take it easy. It's a very important decision. Of course, we are here right now, but take it easy. Observe a little bit more. You're not in a rush. And that's what I say to everybody who comes here and says, Mark, I want to invest in Brazil. First thing I say, what are you looking for? Is it to make money? Is it to surf the wave of the economy of Brazil that is going up? Is it to live? Are you looking for quality of life? Because even inside the state of Rio, you have other places. You have Búzios. Funny thing, not many tourists know Búzios. They go straight to the capital, Rio, but they don't go to Búzios. Búzios is heaven on earth, seriously. And when I was in Fortaleza, I was thinking about that. I said, my God, we were inside the plane for 3 hours. 3 hours. Landed in Brazil, right? And look at this place. And it's just one of the many places this country has. It's just incredible. Incredible. My dream, my desire is to go all over this country. All over. I want to explore every state in details. The most common places and the very remote areas that tourists tend not to go, but that have important gems like cave diving, you name it. There are so many things that I could say. There's a place called Jalapão, which is in Tocantins. Tocantins is on top of Goiás, which is the state where Distrito Federal is located, the capital of Brazil. Jalapão is awesome, guys. Awesome. I'm gonna write the name here so that you can research later. Jalapão. So places like this are not commonly known by tourists, you know? So my idea is to show you guys everything that I can about my country. You know, giving you details of places to eat. By the way, we have visited some very interesting restaurants. Very interesting restaurants. There is one in particular called Mar de Rosas, which would be a sea of roses. Incredible restaurant. Incredible. The restaurants that are close to the beach, they have this beach vibe. I really love this. So you look up and you see that the tiles, you don't see even the roof, no, you see the tiles from under it. You see a very interesting broken wall and paintings on the wall. So the table is pure wood, so it's just fantastic. You can't forget you are in Fortaleza. You can't forget you are in such a paradise. There was a pier that I fell in love, guys. The city hall in Fortaleza prepares the place to have like a very nice area for people to sit and just to do nothing, just admire the ocean, admire the view of the city. So there were so many piers. Remember, I said at the beginning, I counted like 4 or 5 different piers. They were like long arms of the continent going into the water, and we saw so many of them. And I visited, I think, each one of them. There was one in particular. It had a cover, so if it was too hot, you could go under. It had benches for you to sit down. So I said, man, I think this is the closest we can get to Santa Monica Pier, the things that I see in the American movies, in Los Angeles, right? Because there is a pier and people sit down and they throw food for the fish, or some people go fishing in those piers. Amazing, amazing. So I was telling Joe, I miss this very much because when you are a metropolis citizen like I am, living in a city the size of São Paulo, which I love, okay, guys, I haven't changed my mind about this city. It's the safest city in Brazil, if not the safest, one of the safest cities in Brazil. Lots of evolution. This governor, I'm not going to defend any politician, but this guy is working hard. Working hard. It's incredible. He's working on more than 50 kilometers of subway lines at the moment, expanding the current lines, creating new ones. So São Paulo will be very different maybe in a 3-year time. They have plans to have a VLT, like a surface train, like those ones that we have in Rio called VLT in the downtown of Rio. They have a plan to establish one here. So I love the city. I haven't changed my mind. However, there are some benefits of living in a coastal area like Fortaleza. People here in São Paulo, if you look at the buildings right now, you see a lot of lights on. The windows are lit, right? Because it means people are inside the house. People are probably watching, streaming, preparing their food. In Fortaleza, you see a massive number of people on the streets practicing sports, taking care of their health. So I was walking with Joe, and so on our right, people passing by jogging. On the left, lots of courts, sand courts, where people played beach volleyball, futevôlei, which is a mix of soccer and volleyball. So many other things, guys. Even beach soccer they were playing, and also other courts that are made of concrete, so that people could play soccer. Fantastic. People selling ice cream, having a beer by the beach, having like there are restaurants that are on the sand, definitely on the sand. So you had those, dim lights at the tables, people having dinner, very elegant. So this kind of things I miss. I know that if I go around here, I can find a lot of interesting restaurants. This is the capital of gastronomy. If not in Brazil, only in Brazil, I think it's in the world as well. It's very famous for this. But I miss the idea of being able, for example, to pick up Manu from school, my daughter, and say, let's go to the beach on a regular day. On a regular day. I miss this idea. And that's the problem with traveling, right? Because when you travel, you see other realities and you start comparing to yours. That's why my all of my American friends always tell me when they come to Brazil, they see a lot of things they don't have in the US. Um, that, in their opinion, is really, and I'm not talking about infrastructure, I'm talking about human thing. And they miss being here. So I get the feeling because when I went to Rio, I saw a lot of things. I said, oh my God, if I lived here, I would be practicing sports. I would be doing this. I would be biking here in this area. Or, oh, it's too hot. So let's jump in the water. You know, Rio, for example, has one of probably the most beautiful bike lanes in this country. It goes over the ocean, right? There are parts that you're going up and over the ocean. Incredible. Imagine pedaling, riding your bike in a place like this. That would be amazing, you know? Just seeing the ocean. I think we need this contact. Brazil is beautiful because of the privilege of being in contact with the nature like we are, right? Everywhere. Welcome back, Pro Travel. Did you visit any of the beach towns outside of Fortaleza, Flecheiras? Unfortunately, I didn't. Thank you very much for welcoming back. I missed you guys. I wanted to be here. I was explaining at the beginning that I have a lot of material to produce videos. But guys, I'm not gonna be apologizing all the time. You guys know I'm a busy guy, and I try my best to produce content. So the channel is really important for me. I will never let it go. I'll never forget about it. But I have a lot of materials, and I am already editing the first video. I wanted to have posted it before, but I couldn't. I'm gonna do this week still, I promise you. As it was a very fast trip, I was planning to come back because we traveled on the 18th. It was a Wednesday. The flight was 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like this. We arrived 1:30 in Fortaleza. So then you go find a place for you to eat. The guy is a vegan, not even vegetarian. He's a vegan. He can't eat anything that is animal, that is derived, right? That it comes from animals. So we needed to find a place where he could eat and I could eat as well. So it took a while. Um, so when we finally found a place, it was already 4:35 in the afternoon. And then you say, okay, let's explore. When you see it's 9 o'clock, man, you're walking around, investigating a few buildings that he had in mind and that I had checked for him as well, because we were there to work on this, to understand the real estate market. So when I saw, buddy, it was just complicated for us to get out of there and go somewhere. Jericoacoara is a place I have heard so much. Americans call Jerry, right? Because it's easier. I wanted to go, but it's far. There were excursions. There were people selling packages on the sidewalk. Hey, you guys are tourists. You want to go to Jericoacoara? We have a bus leaving at this time. Blah blah blah. But I said, okay, we don't know Fortaleza. Let's get to know Fortaleza first. In another opportunity, we can go to Jerry and some other places. What we did, man, was we went to Praia do Futuro, which is basically there in Fortaleza, but it's a little distant if you walk, right? And we did this on foot, man. We didn't want to take the Uber, just to explore, to understand the city, to see the good and the bad areas. So we walked all the way from where we were, which was, let me see, guys, if I show you, Praia Mansa, I believe. I'm going to open my Google Maps here. So we walked all the way to Praia do Futuro. I made a video there. It was incredible. Praia do Futuro is really beautiful. And, so many untapped places, in my opinion. Places that really need a very good hotel. I know they have Beach Park Fortaleza, right, which is a very famous water park, but there is so much that is still untapped, that could receive an investment to have more tourists, more attractions. My God, Brazil seriously lacks investment in these things. That's what Neymar is trying to do in partnership with another big rich guy in some areas of Pernambuco and Alagoas. I have the video about this on the channel. Because you make a lot of money because you don't have much competition. So the day we went to Praia do Futuro, we walked like crazy. Yes, Praia do Meireles, that's where we were. More specifically, Praia do Meireles, the neighborhood of Meireles. So if you guys take a look at the map there, Fortaleza, I can show you here. Oops. See if you guys can see anything. Yeah, so like we were here in this green thing here. Praia do Meireles, and then Praia do Futuro. It's you guys are not gonna be able to see, I guess. Just if I do this. Praia do Futuro is here. Praia do Meireles is here. So we walked a lot because we wanted to take a look at the places. But amazing. Praia do Futuro is beautiful. But again, you still have a lot of places that need more evolution, I believe. More buildings, more restaurants, more towers. This is something that impressed me, guys. When I was there, I was taking a look at the buildings. Because I always say about São Paulo that São Paulo is a construction site. Everywhere you go, there are cranes lifting new towers. Fortaleza was no different. Of course, smaller in number, but they had a lot of beautiful towers being built. And what I loved about Fortaleza was the quality of the designs. When you watch my videos, starting by tomorrow, I promise, even if I have to spend the whole night editing, I'm gonna post one video tomorrow. Guys, there were towers. The design was so amazing, and it was not even finished yet. I had to stop and film and take pictures. And then when they are finished, they had a lot of glass, a lot of plants, beautiful design. And the people in Ceará, the people in Fortaleza are building towers that are, I don't know, man, maybe 60 floors high. I hope I'm not exaggerating, but we were on the 15th floor looking above. There were so many towers, and back or behind all those towers we saw, there was another one that was huge, huge, bigger than all the others we have seen. And just the top that we saw above the other towers, we counted 14 floors just on this part. So they are really building skyscrapers. Uh, it's amazing. I think the taller the tower is, the higher, the more beautiful, because you see the ocean, and it's fantastic. And at night, guys, something I loved about Ceará, and kudos to the Cearenses, on the facades of the buildings, sometimes they put different lighting. So I remember seeing a residential building, an apartment building, that had lights that went around the windows, and they had very different programming. So sometimes the light went down and to the left, and the other one from the right up. So it was incredible. If you have any questions, please let me know. Ask me. I don't believe many people will come tonight. For one, I haven't posted the live before. I should do this. Every time I don't do this, people don't know the live is going to happen. So I need to change this. I need to start scheduling the lives for you guys to know in advance, a few days in advance. But remember, the lives will happen every Wednesdays at 7 and every Sundays at 6. If there is a change, I will let you know about Sundays, okay? Because Wednesday is official, 7 o'clock. No, 7, no, sorry, 8 o'clock. I'm starting earlier tonight, but it's 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Even forgot about it. How long did the walk take? Favorite beach club at Praia do Futuro? Man, the day we walked the longest, seriously, I don't remember having walked that much in my life. I got to a point that my knees started to ache. They were very painful, so I needed to take a break. It was super hot that day. Even I got that sunburn. I had used the sunblock, but I got the sunburn anyways. I got like red, really red that day. But we wanted to walk, so I said, "Let's walk." And I don't know. I think it was more than 1 hour, man. I'm gonna risk and say we walked more than 1 hour. That's for sure. Because at the end, we sat at the beach, and I said, "Man, do you want to take an Uber?" No, we can walk back. I said, "Are you crazy? You want to walk back?" And, yeah, okay. We rest. Okay, so we rested. We sat for about an hour, relaxed. Okay, let's walk back now. Because I love walking. When I explore a city, my wife hates this. I love walking. I love seeing the people working in the restaurants, going to post office, see the reality of that place, not only the touristic part. Okay, I don't want anything pretended to be. I want to see the reality of the city. So that's what I did. We walked a lot. So it was 1 hour, probably 1.5 hours to go. Because when we arrived at the beach, we also walked inside the beach because the beach is really long. And I saw some people practicing kite surfing. By the way, what a city to have wind, guys. Fortaleza has a lot of wind. If you have a sailboat, that's the perfect place for you to live, man. A lot of wind. And you know, guys, Jericoacoara, that Pro Travel mentioned, is known as the world capital of kite surfing, even more than Fortaleza. So there were moments that I was at the pier that the wind was blowing me back, man. I even joked that I was Michael Jackson in that video clip, right? That Michael is holding things not to fly off, you know? But it was incredible. Favorite beach club at Praia do Futuro? I saw a lot of beach clubs, buddy. But I saw one. I'm sorry, I'm going to fail on this answer. I won't be able to give you the name because I don't remember. But you will see, if you watch my videos, you will see there is a beach club that the area was among the trees. We had access to that area. It was really good, even though we were not staying there or anything. So they had a lot of tables among the trees. I don't know if they were palm trees or coconut trees. I don't remember. But the top of the trees, they made a cover for the area, so you had a lot of shadow, a lot of shade, right? And they had a stage for probably musicians to play, and people stay there among the trees. And at night, guys, I saw chandeliers on top of the tables, but they were so local, so beach wise, so I can't explain. They look like shells. So I look at that thing, I even filmed. I said, man, imagine this lit at night. What an environment. I understand why people love Fortaleza so much. I have an uncle and aunt who have been there so many times. They didn't even know that I was going. Probably if I had told them, they would have given me a list. Go here, go there. I have another couple of friends who have been there 100 times because it's a perfect place for people who love the beach. If you love the ocean, that's your place. That's your place. I didn't see big waves though. If you are a surfer, maybe Praia do Meireles is not a good option. I saw some waves on Praia do Futuro, but they were not big. I saw some surfers, I believe, on Praia do Futuro, but kite surfing is much more common for obvious reasons, right? It winds a lot. If you love a kite, just a kite, man, perfect place for you, man. I checked the price of the beach park, which is an aqua park, a water park in Fortaleza, but I thought it was very expensive, about $600, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to do this when I were with my family. So when Manu is with me, when my wife is with me, I think I will go to beach park because Manuela loves this kind of thing, swimming pool. You know, kids, right? But as we had a very short time period, I said, look, let's get to know the city. Okay. Let's get to know the city. And we didn't explore, I'm going to tell you, very much of the city. We went inside the neighborhoods and everything, the city area, the downtown area. I went downtown, by the way. I went to some museums. I went to Museu do Ceará. Oh, yes, Museu do Ceará. No, Museu do Ceará was closed. Too bad. I went to Centro da Dragão do Mar de Arte e Cultura. I went to a Mercadão. Mercadão is like a market where they sell local food. I got some souvenirs to bring. Let me show you guys what I bought for the channel. And I'm going to tell you guys, one of my jobs as a YouTuber about Brazil is to know about Brazil, right? And I was born here, raised here, so it's my obligation to know. I felt a little stupid because I went to the market to buy this. I mean, I wanted some souvenir to bring. This is called sanfona. I think it's accordion, no? My grandfather was from Bahia. He played this beautifully. May God have his soul. But I wanted to buy a souvenir to bring to Tali and Manu. Of course, I couldn't go back with nothing. And this one I bought for the channel. So every time I go somewhere in Brazil, I'm going to bring a souvenir like this. And I'm gonna put here on my bookcase for you guys to see. So when you look at this, you see a place, an object from Rio, an object from Fortaleza, and so on. So when I was there, the vendor, the salesperson, was telling me the story of this thing. Amazing. He asked me, "Do you know this?" And I said, "No." "Do you know that?" And I said, "No." I felt embarrassed because it's my country and we know so little. I have never enjoyed being the typical tourist. I respect if you guys are. My point is not criticizing, but I have never wanted to be the typical tourist. I wanted to go explore, get to know the city. Of course, know the best restaurants, know the best shows, concerts, whatever, you name it. But also, I want to understand a little of their history, the things they go through, their music, how the music came to be. This kind of things are interesting for me. And I knew very little about Fortaleza and Ceará itself. So I said, when I go back, this is something I'm going to correct because I want to be the representative of you guys in Brazil. I want to be the ambassador of this country. So when you guys log to my channel, when you watch my videos, I want you to get everything from me. Everything. Oh, I'm gonna watch Mark because he has something to say about Ceará, and you will receive something interesting. Oh, Mark has something to say about Amazonas, Manaus, the rainforest. So that's what I want. I want to be very well versed about my country, and this is gonna happen. I promise you. But this is a sanfoneiro. It's a profession. Look at the sandals that they use in Ceará. You know, very beautiful thing, man. Seriously. I have seen so many others, but they were too big to put in my bag, my backpack. I had just one backpack. I didn't have a suitcase, you know. So, but I'm happy with this, and I'm gonna show you everything about Ceará on the next videos. I promise you guys, you won't regret it. It's gonna be amazing. Just trying to find the best music to match the scenery, the moment. So you see. Another thing I wanted to say tonight, guys, is that La Vie is flying high with the projects. Um, at the beginning of the semester in August, I came here and I think I made a live to present you guys with this Heaven by You, an international company, this one. Heaven is a new project of apartment buildings, 2 towers, that La Vie, the company that I work with, represented by Célio. Okay, Célio is on behalf of La Vie every time he comes here. He is the broker. That's his name right there. So Célio invited me to present this project for you guys. And the something that called my attention about La Vie is that La Vie was located on a street full of hospitals. If you guys follow the channel, you know in the past 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I unfortunately I had to go to the hospital very much because I had kidney stones that needed to be removed. Thank God they were. So I had two surgeries. And a third surgery that was an accident. I destroyed the labrum, a membrane that goes around the shoulder, and I had to had it patched up. So I had a third surgery. All the three surgeries took place at a hospital called Beneficência Portuguesa, or how we call BP here in São Paulo. It's a Portuguese hospital. And I was amazed by this hospital, made videos about this because it's a private hospital. And it's located in a street where this is also located. They bought a whole block to make these towers. And he called my attention because he was a block away from the hospital that I had a surgery, right, guys? But the funny thing is, Célio said from the very first beginning, Mark, this is a project that is gonna melt. They say melt, guys, when they mean that it's gonna sell like hotcakes because it's luxurious, right? Have to find the best angle. It's luxurious. It's beautiful. Okay. And he said, look, we need to tell people who are interested that it's going to sell fast. So I received a lot of messages from people interested in São Paulo. Some people interested in getting a place here, right? And we made a list and everything. But guys, let me tell you, they sold everything out. They built this they're going to build this in partnership with Cirela, which is the main company. Lavi belongs to Cirela. So they were working in a joint venture in this project. And guys, they sold everything out. There are 100 people. And I said this, I said, guys, I'm going to come here very soon and say, we don't have any other units to offer you guys. São Paulo is incredible. Incredible. A lot of people buying from abroad, there were people or groups buying more than 10 units. You have no idea, guys. Because why, Mark? Because it's very well located. Very well located, and it's a first world thing. Look at the design of the place. So, guys, it happened just like I predicted. Lavi had 50% of the units to sell, and the other 50% belonged to Cirela, the other company. They sold out everything, and so did Cirela, right? If they have units, probably if somebody gives up on the project and say, look, I'm returning. But this is another successful venture of the company, another successful project, right? So, guys, as I predicted, they have sold out everything. The funny thing, I was gonna go there last Monday. Today's Wednesday. 2 days ago, I was gonna go there to make a video for the channel, not a short, a long video showing you the details, going inside the showroom. What for? What for? I'm gonna show you guys. You're gonna be interested, and I won't have any units to sell for you, to offer you. Incredible, just incredible. So, other than this project of heaven, there's another one called Petra, which is also very luxurious. So, if any one of you is watching and is an investor and is thinking about investing in São Paulo, wait, I'm gonna be making a video about Petra because this one is gone. This one is over. This swimming pool is at the top of the building. Incredible. It's gonna be at the top of the building. And the building is already in a very high area. So can you imagine? The building super high in a high area and the swimming pool at the top. You guys would be living like kings if you had been able to get a property here. The plans. So this is another thing I wanted to tell you, okay? I wanted to talk to you about Fortaleza. I wanted to say hello because I have disappeared. But I want to say, because look, guys, if you guys don't like this property thing that I show, I'm sorry. I try to show everything about Brazil. So I know that I have a lot of subscribers that are investors. I know this because I normally receive a lot of messages. So this project, unfortunately, I cannot offer you anymore unless they have something that returns. Sally was telling me, guys, they received more than 450 people per day visiting. I was in one of these days. I went with Joseph before we went to Fortaleza, and there were a lot of rich people there. Seriously, you could see by the traits, the clothing, elite. The elite came there and swept the whole thing. So this one is gone. Incredible. La Vie is an amazing company. What's up, man? Racket Club. Thanks for opening my eyes on investing in Fortaleza. No problem, man. Are you going to invest there? What is this place located? I'm late. This place here, if you're talking about heaven, this is located close to Paulista Avenue, buddy. Uh, the name of the street, if you want to check there, if you want to check on Google Maps, one day I will have a computer, I promise, that I can share the Google Maps with you and everything else. Rua Maestro Cardim, São Paulo. This is the name of the street. If you type there on Google Maps, you will have an idea. Or you can type Heaven by La Vie. I think they already have this. They sold out, buddy. Sold out. The 50% that La Vie had in this partnership is gone. Is gone. There are still 100 people waiting in case somebody gives up. 100 people. Amazing. Célio said, Mark, we won't have time to make videos here, man. We won't have time because they will open one day when the prices are available. They started collecting the names much before, you know. How much were they? They were an average of 18,600 reais per square meter. Not cheap, guys, but not that expensive because I know there are so many other places in the area that are more expensive. But Racket Club, the interesting thing, buddy, is the access. You can walk to Paulista Avenue, 5 minutes on foot. But before you get to Paulista Avenue, you are in another very important street full of bars, a shopping mall, restaurants of the best kind. On your street, on the street of the project, 4 or 6 very special hospitals, one German, another Portuguese, and so many others. And in a 1.3 kilometer ratio, I think it's radius, you have 16 hospitals. It's a very good area. And you know that São Paulo is has a very hilly topography. So that area is already high. So the building will be super, super tall and in a high level. So you guys will see the horizon. You see the whole city or the state from the tower. It's incredible. And you have access to a something called Corredor Norte-Sul or North-South corridor because it's an avenue that connects the two sides of the city, and you can take this place to go to the airport, the international airport of Guarulhos. It's gonna be like in front of your building. Okay, to the other side. It's gonna be in front of your building. You can access. If you go south, you arrive to Ibirapuera Park. If you go north, you go to Guarulhos, the airport. So very well located. It sold like hotcakes. I didn't have time to produce a video and put on the channel. And I have some shorts. I made some footage to make the shorts and try to sell. I'm gonna have to look at the cell phone tonight and delete everything that I did, or keep it there because if somebody gives up, I don't know. Because if somebody comes and says, "No, I want a property," sorry, we don't have it. Do the Americans have to pay everything up front, or can we finance like in the US? It's a very good question. You cannot finance like in the US because that means you would have to get a loan or a bank would have to cover that for you when you pay for the bank. Normally, financing means there's a bank involved. What you can do though, you can pay installments directly to the construction company, but it's not financing, it's just dividing the payment. So we work like this. Lavi signs a contract with you. You give a 30% down payment, and you divide the rest in as long as the construction is taking place, is happening. We have sold to Americans like this. I have a friend now. He has become my friend from Texas. His name is Ian. He has bought a property close to my house here in the south, and he's paying in 3 years, 3.5 years. I think the key is delivered in December 2025 already. But he's been paying every month. Every month he transfers money to Lavi. Of course, there are the costs, okay? You need to be aware of that. You have to pay because look, you are sending money that will become a real. You're sending dollars that will become real. So there is the bank, Itaú Bank, that is the bank that works with Lavi, um, charges the company for transferring into reais. So the company doesn't want to pay this. Of course, it's going to transfer to you this amount because they want the money for the property, not with costs, right? So you have this cost to transfer this amount every month. But at the end of the day, if you do the math, if you crunch some numbers, you will see that it's still worth it. It's still worth because you're buying a property that is worth like your dollar, R$ 5.40. So you have 5.4 times the firepower of a Brazilian when you come here. Your dollar is R$ 5.40. So you have this advantage. Second, you're paying installments. Even the down payment is paid in three parts, in 3 months. So I think it's worth it, right? Uh, but we always have to be clear about this. There are costs for you to transfer the money. Okay. And remember, guys, something important. If you guys want to do business in Brazil without a CPF, there is no conversation. If you want to buy whatever it is in Brazil, be that a studio or an apartment or a piece of land, for you to invest in Brazil, you need to have a CPF number. CPF is a document, a fiscal document that gives you the possibility to invest in Brazil, to buy a property. It's not only for Brazilians, it's different from the social security number. It's becoming more and more for us the social security number. There is already a move from the government that all the documents contain or will contain, I'm going to say contains because it's already happening, the CPF number. So in the past, we had an ID card with another number. Forget it. It's now CPF for everything. However, a foreigner can have this because a foreigner can buy a property in Brazil and have the fiscal document CPF. So you need to have this. If you don't, there's not even a conversation about investing because you will go through everything, check price, and then the moment you're going to buy, where's the CPF? Without the CPF, the company doesn't accept anything. Okay, so if you don't have it, I highly recommend you go after this. I have a lot of videos about CPF documents on the channel. Just go binge watch. You will find this, right? But you need to have it. Okay, guys, I wanted to come here just for 1 hour, which is completing 5 minutes. But I'm tired. I've been working hard. The days are so hot here. I'm gonna work on the editing of my video, but I have a class now after this live streaming. Thank you very much. I will start posting or scheduling the lives in advance so you guys know I'm gonna be live here with you. Um, Otherwise, nobody will show up because they don't know I'm here or I intend to be here. Thank you very much for each and every one of you who came. Um, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to be here more often. And keep an eye on the channel because starting by tomorrow, you will start seeing a lot of videos about Fortaleza. I have produced a lot of content. Very happy with this. And you probably enjoy everything. Thank you very much. I'm very hungry. I'm going to eat. It's a pleasure to see you all. Bye bye.